Joe Biden and Mainland China appear to share the same message when addressing the latest waves of riots and looting across the U.S. One America's Kristian Rouz looks into the matter.
None of us can be silent. None of us can any longer can we hear the words, "I can't breathe," and do nothing.
Joe Biden appears to be endorsing the violent riots and looting across the nation, as the case of George Floyd is taking an increasingly political turn. Over the past few days, Biden visited the site of unrest in Delaware and spoke at a black church, blaming President Trump and the American public for what he calls institutional racism. This as Biden is struggling to win the support of far-left voting base by endorsing so-called social justice.
Nobody can pretend any longer what this is all about. Nobody can pretend who has been carrying this on their back. It's the minorities.
But Biden and the Democrat machine are not alone in blaming the president for far-left violence. In recent days, the Chinese Communist Party and state media ramped up calls for what they call justice for Floyd to advance Beijing's foreign policy goals. China's messaging is similar to that of US Democrats, with their attacks on white Americans, as well as talk about so-called institutional racism and other leftist talking points.
Why does the U.S. glorify Hong Kong rioters as heroes and warriors while calling those U.S. people who protest against racism rioters?
But despite claims by Biden and China, the latest unrest across America appears to be a major challenge to national security. The protests embolden and glorify far-left groups Black Lives Matter and Antifa. The latter ended up being put up for designation as domestic terror group by the Justice Department. In addition, rioting radicals looted businesses from large chain stores like Target to small shops and dealt millions of dollars in property damage, including burnt cars, which may undermine the U.S. economy amid an ongoing standoff with mainland China and the crisis inflicted by COVID shutdowns.
But by all means, the news that happened over the weekend was bad news, both from a perspective of violence at home here in America, also the perspective that the trade war may be kicking it up a notch.
President Trump says there is no reason to riot, as the FBI and DOJ are investigating Floyd's death. However, electoral politics are now playing an ever-increasing role as November draws nearer.
The violence and vandalism is being led by Antifa and other radical left-wing groups who are terrorizing the innocent, destroying jobs, hurting businesses, and burning down buildings.
In this light, many Republicans say Beijing, Joe Biden, and the China Communist Party share the same message for the same purpose: to dismantle and undermine the incumbent U.S. administration. This adds to the ongoing onslaught by the globalist deep state on America's rule of law, constitutional rights, and political stability.
You're being ordered to disperse. If you do not disperse, you will be subject to arrest.
Kristian Rouz, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.